What is this thing right here? What is that? Oh, it's the information button. Hello! Welcome back to Fuyuan Express, it's Jay. I'm finally sitting down to do a crit Lingsha build guide for you guys. This is so that you guys can see if you guys have the resources to build her on your account, whether you are F2P or you are a low spender, or whether you do spend money and you're like wondering if it's worth it to get her literally at the same time that the Herta is coming out. So I'm just gonna give you the information and I'll give you my opinion at the end of the video on whether you should pull for her. Let's get right into it. Lingsha is coming up soon. You're looking at her best in slot team right now. Lingsha, Jade, Sunday, and Robin. Robin is best in slot because she's Robin. But because of Lingsha's consolidation of healing and GPS into one role, the fourth slot is actually a flex slot. You can put Asta here, you can put Tingyun here. Hell, I've ran Yukong on this team before. You can put Sparkle, Ranmei, whatever other support character, Tribi when she's coming out. These three are the main trifecta that we're really focusing our build guide around today. Sunday is a summon support, action advancing Fuyuan for Lingsha. And now every time that Fuyuan goes, anytime that Lingsha skills or ultimate and causes Fuyuan to go again, anytime her emergency heal gets triggered, it is 5 stacks for Jade. If you think about it, if you ult once, 5 stacks, Fuyuan gets pulled up 10 stacks, and then Lingsha skill, so you have 15 stacks. Sunday pulls up Lingsha, she skills again, that's 20 stacks. Fuyuan goes again because Sunday pulled Fuyuan up, that's 25 stacks. That is 3 follow-up attacks for Jade. But you're not gonna get your ultimate up every single time it's Lingsha's turn, so you're usually getting 25 stacks or 15 stacks for Jade on average. That's about 2 to 3 follow-up attacks for Jade. When Jade gets that many follow-up attacks consecutively, she builds up energy for herself, which means she's gonna ult more often. As well as the fact that Lingsha's emergency heal. The emergency heal triggers when any ally falls below 60% health. And when does it refresh? After 2 turns. And what does Sunday do for Lingsha? Make her go 2 turns in a row. Lingsha goes, and if you speed tune her properly, Sunday makes her go again. That's 2 turns. It refreshes her emergency heal, which is more damage for Lingsha and more stacks for Jade, and more healing for your team. For example, if you're playing Pure Fiction, you're going Lingsha, Sunday, Lingsha, and then Jade gets her follow-up attacks. The enemies hit you, let them hit you until somebody falls below 60% health. Let the emergency heal trigger, and then you can use your ult after that emergency trigger and get the ult damage, and then Fuyuan to go again because of Lingsha's ult 100% action advance. Do you see how these characters just work chef's kiss? The way you want to speed tune this is that Lingsha's speed plus 30 has to be higher than Sunday. Why? Because Jade, with her skill, when she makes Lingsha the debt collector, it adds a 30 flat speed to Lingsha. When you're running your typical 134 speed Sunday, okay, I have 135, luck of the roll. Whatever you get in substats here, you want to make sure you get in substats in Lingsha so that this number, the end number, is 1 higher than Sunday, and you're fine. It can be by the decimal point as well, but that's up to you to test, okay? 106 plus 30 from Jade is 136, and there I go. It's speed tuned. And that means you can afford to run attack boots on Lingsha, which means higher heals and higher damage for you. You can run fire orb instead of attack because attack has diminishing returns, but obviously your heals are going to be lower. It depends on your substats though. It's not that important. Your best in slot is going to be a 2-piece Banana Amusement. Because she's a summoner, you're going to get a lot of crit damage. You can run Inert Salsodo as well. Inert Salsodo, she capitalizes off of all the stats that Inert Salsodo promotes, but also you get more crit rate. So if you're starving on crit rate, run Inert Salsodo. 4-piece, you can go Scholar Lost in Erudition. Gonna give you that crit rate as well. You can run 2-piece, 2-piece. 2-piece Diver works on her as well. Pioneer, Diver, Dead Waters, because she does debuff enemies with her ultimate ability. You can run the Fire set on her, the Lava Smith, whatever thing. It doesn't really matter. You're just aiming for good crit stats, okay? Sunday adds 20% crit stat to her, so you're aiming for 70 or 80% crit. And because she is an abundance unit, you're not going to have any crit stats in your traces or your light cone. Do you need Lingsha's light cone? Hell no. This light cone, gorgeous, beautiful gown though. This is very useful and you can maximize all these stats in Super Break. Otherwise, if you're running crit Lingsha, all this translates to is 15% attack because 25% of her break effect gets converted into attack. And then you're getting a 10% vulnerability debuff when you use your ult. You're not really going to reach 150% break effect in crit Lingsha build, so you can't take advantage of this full 18% vulnerability. Her best 4-star light cone is going to be this. It's a gacha one. Lingsha, Sunday pulling her up for a second turn. You're spamming your skills, so you're generating 4 energy for all of your allies every time Lingsha goes. If not, free to play. Quid pro quo, you're generating 16 energy every time you go, and you don't even have to skill, okay, for one of your allies. Or if you have Luocha's light cone, that's good for her as well. Jade, watch any build guide for Jade. Literally, you just run 4-piece Valorous, 2-piece Duran, or you can run a colorful build like this. For me, I'm just aiming for crit stats. You're just aiming for 90 to 100% crit rate. When she ramps up fully, she gives herself 120% crit damage. So if you're looking at these numbers, it's really this plus 120 down here. So you can run 100 here. You're perfectly fine. And you just run attack boots on her and a quantum orb, because attack is a lot of attack, so you can afford to run quantum damage boost. Light cone, free to play light cone. The best 4-star light cone is probably this one, the battle pass one, because she has 140 cost alt. The birth of the self for the increase in follow-up attacks, up to you. Okay, whatever you have. Sunday is very easy, typical Sunday, okay? You're going for the 134, 135 speed, and then you just maximize crit damage stats on him. You're going to run a 4-piece Sacerdos, Lushaka. Sunday's signature light cone is going to be the most beneficial for you. It's going to give you the most quality of life. Whether you run Sunday in this team or another team, his light cone, his signature light cone, just amazing for the quality of life of getting those skill points back and getting his ult back up every 3 turns. Okay, so then you're going to have your typical Robin build. Okay, you're just going to run attack 2-piece, and then you can run Lushaka, you could run Sprightly Van Whack, whatever you want. You're just aiming for attack substats and some speed if you want to get her to that point where she can move twice in the first cycle. I have E1 Robin, so we're putting Meshing Cogs on her just to nerf her. Otherwise, I would put her event light cone on her. Where is it? This one. Okay, you're gonna see in the showcase on Apocalyptic Shadow that this team, even with free-to-play icons, because there's 5 enemies on the other side, it's just absolutely diabolical. You can see a lot of the showcase of Crit Lingsha on my other videos. Expensive team, you can have just these 2, you can have just these 2, but it's not gonna be as great as having all 3. I'm gonna show you guys this team in practice on the Apocalyptic Shadow that is active right now and will reset in 5 days. This is how I discovered the strength of Crit Lingsha. Okay, so we are going into the Apocalyptic Shadow with our free-to-play light cones completely. This is actually my first time running with the Meshing Cogs on Robin, so I don't know how much it's gonna affect it. But with my signature light cones on, I was able to get a 3800 score on this Apocalyptic Shadow. That's when I was like, okay, wait a minute. I think Crit Lingsha is kind of busted here. Oh crap, we couldn't get that energy. Not enough energy, huh? Okay, you see how Sunday is still ahead of Lingsha even with Jade's skill, but once you do this, do you see how Lingsha is now ahead of Sunday in the action order? Yeah, so it seems 100% action event somehow resets the speed tuning to accurately represent their values. So we're gonna actually just put this on her for the damage. Okay, so we're actually gonna ult here because it'll put Fuyan ahead of Sunday. So Fuyan will go, and then we can use Sunday to pull Lingsha and Fuyan back up. Oh! Okay, 5 stacks for Jade. 10 stacks for Jade. Another 5 stacks for Jade. Okay, now I'm not gonna spam my ult here because you have to realize that you need to let Fuyan go, okay? She's coming up right behind Lingsha, so let Fuyan go first. I know I'm gonna get my ult here, but I'm gonna wait. Let Fu Yan go. Now. Then you're gonna get another Fu Yan action. Okay, so that's how you optimize Fu Yan. Okay, and we need to skill here. We're just gonna skill for the energy. And we only have one skill point, so we have the basic here. And we're just gonna help here to keep that up. Okay, can we afford to skill here? Yes, we can. Because Robin can auto next. Didn't even need that. Sadly, we're gonna get hit by the TB, lose energy. But we're fine. We can gain it back. This. I don't even need to worry about who I'm targeting because we get so many AoE hits. I don't have to worry about these gauges. I'm hitting everybody all the time. Okay, this situation. I'm going to get my ult with any action that I take with Lingsha here. I need to spam my ult because you guys, the thing you guys have to understand about Fu Yan is that she, even though she's a follow-up attack, she is a summon. She never goes on the side and interrupts someone else's action or someone else's turn. Unless it's emergency healing. Okay? Unless it's the emergency trigger, she never interrupts. So the problem is, if you let Sunday's turn come up and then you Lingsha ult, Fu Yan will get 100% action advance behind Sunday. And when Sunday pulls up Lingsha, Lingsha is going to jump ahead of Fu Yan. So you're going to lose out on a Fu Yan turn. Do you get it? So watch this. I'm going to skill and ult immediately. Okay. Now, Lingsha interrupts before Sunday goes. Now Fu Yan goes ahead of Sunday because it's not his turn yet. If it was already his turn, they would have put Fu Yan after Sunday. And then, when Sunday pulled up Lingsha, she would have jumped ahead of Fu Yan again. Because action advance always prioritizes allied targets. So you would have lost out on a Fu Yan stack. Or lost out on a Fu Yan action. Okay? So that's how you manage that in that situation. Okay, great. Now we just spam. Skill again. Another 5 stacks. I always just keep a track of like Fu Yan on this side. Where she is. And normally, yeah, that means you can actually interrupt Fu Yan with Jade's like stomp. For example, like, oh, before Fu Yan goes and gives me 5 stacks, another like follow-up attack for Jade, I want to ult with her so that I can enhance my follow-up attack damage, right? You can do that comfortably because Fu Yan can get interrupted. For example, if Fu Yan is coming up and you hit Robin's ult right now, let's say right now Robin's here, right, and Fu Yan's here. Anyways, let me go again. We're getting this situation where we can ult again. Okay, we're just gonna ult with her. Okay. 3667. Anyways, I was saying something. Basically, with Robin's team-wide action advance, she puts everybody ahead of Fu Yan on the action order. So if there is any instance in which you have Robin's ult ready, for example, and Fu Yan's about to go, just let Fu Yan go. Get in that extra little tick of damage and stacks for Jade before you hit the Robin button. Okay? So it really is just about managing Fu Yan on the action order and when it's her turn and not. Okay? There is a little bit of trick. You can't really play this on auto battle. I wouldn't say can't, but I wouldn't. The reason I enjoy playing this game is not because of auto play anyway. So there you go. You get a 3667 with completely free to play light cones. This MOC as well, you can probably throw this team on one side and comfortably clear at least in 5 cycles. Svarog is very annoying. I would run this on the True Sting side instead of Svarog side. Terror Grip works really bad against Sunday, and also the Svarog's hand can not be interrupted as easily as you could if you were running like a super break team, or Fei Xiao, which can easily break their bars before the hand can move. So this team really is just for AoE in Pure Fiction and Apocalyptic Shadow. Even in this MOC on the True Sting side, I think that's a lot better. If you run Super Break with Gallagher on the first side, you're probably going to be able to 3-star clear with this on the second side. Okay, so now that you've seen it in action, it is super fun. I will say that. It is extremely fun, feels extremely powerful against any type of enemy content that puts a lot of units on the opposite side of the field. So at the end of the day, would I pull for Lingsha over the Hertha? It is up to you. She has a lot of value for your account depending on what other units you have. If you just have Lingsha without any of these units, she's just going to be a healer. You have to be careful with that, all right? So if you do have Jade and Sunday, crit summoner build, if you have Ranmei and Fugue, or Ranmei and of course Harmony Trailblazer, you can run her super break. Okay, if you have Fugue and Acheron, you can run her as Lingsha as a driver for Acheron. All right, with Fugue's E on her. So I am a Lingsha enthusiast, but I want you guys to have a powerful account. I want you guys to have a safe account where you guys have options. Lingsha does give you options. The Hertha, does she give you options? Well, she can be run with a lot of free-to-play units, such as Remembrance MC and Serval, and also 4-star Hertha. So I think the Hertha is also very free-to-play friendly. I'm going to wrap this up. I hope Lingsha comes home for you guys, Jade comes home for you guys, and the Hertha comes home for you guys. I wish you guys good luck on your pulls. And I'll see you guys next time. Pull for Lingsha.